What's going on, everybody? Michael Silva here, live day trading episode 87, I believe it is, or 88, I can't remember. We're going to be hopping into the computer momentarily. Just know that it's going to look like I made more than I actually did today, and that's due in part because on ticker symbol PDD, I actually forgot to hit record and I was fading the position, which means I was a big move to the upside and I wanted to short into that move, and it whipsawed me twice, coming into around an $80 loss to $100 loss in total. But you'll see here on the recording me making that money back on a continuous fade. So I was a little early to it, but ended up catching it. Another trade I didn't even get into, but I walked through my entire thought process on it and came within just a few cents of actually getting entered in. So there's a lot of good nuggets within this episode. Let's go ahead and get into the computer. We're looking at ticker symbol QS. The market just opened at 6:37 a.m. Waiting to see here what this ticker does here very soon. So ticker symbol QS, I'm going to show you on the daily time frame and kind of walk you through my thought process. So first off, had a horrible day yesterday and had some follow through overnight, gapping down to around as low as $40 in extended hours. And that held as an area of support. It's a very interesting level. So we have resistance and then support and support. So if it breaks down through there, we can see a lot more blood to come within this stock. But we gapped down and we bounced overnight a little bit from that 40 area, and then we started moving higher. So I'm looking at the 5-minute chart right here. If I bring up extended hours, you can see hit a low of 39.70, and we've been bouncing from that level. Okay. We go back to extended hours off. What I'm thinking is perhaps we get this gap down, rip up higher to fill the gap from today, and then we can get rejected. Sometimes these gaps, once they're filled, they can act as levels of resistance and or support, depending if it was a gap up or gap down. So I have a short position here, 50 shares short, 46.94. See if we can get up there today. I'll pause the video and come back to see if we get that order filled. If not, we'll probably look at another stock. But that right now is the setup that I'm looking for. I'd probably have a stop loss just above that and play a quick fade. If not, I may move it up just slightly higher and just give it a little bit more breathing room. But I haven't fully decided that point quite yet as to how I want to approach it. So I'll be back here if my order gets filled. All right, so I'm actually looking here at ticker symbol PDD, and my order on QS didn't get filled yet. So I'm looking over here. Green line is my entry point. Look at this monster move on the 5-minute time frame. So we had this gap down and then just this incredible ramp up higher. So a lot of strength. I'm looking to fade the position. Clearly, I got in at a level of resistance previously in a breakdown area, but it keeps on pumping higher and higher. So I might get stopped out. My stop loss is right here at the blue line. I'm going to make it white. Now let's see here if I can get some profits. So the target on this specific trade, so there's just so much volume coming in right here, and it's could really just because it's the first 15 minutes of the day, so it's a lot of intraday volatility. But gap down, that's pretty bearish on already a bearish looking chart on this 5-minute time frame, and then there's just huge rip up to the upside. Like I said, so the stop loss is right above this resistance area. If I get stopped out, it is what it is, but I'm only doing 25 shares short. But the downside potential could be all the way down to 124. So a good risk versus reward setup, in my opinion, right here. We'll see if we get the follow through, if this is just going to get some rubber band extension to the downside, or if this is going to pull and create some sort of flag. So let's watch. All right, so I'm being pretty aggressive with my stop right here, just moving it quicker and quicker down because I know this can rubber band shot. The white is the stop loss, like I said. I'm up $70 in the position, so this is good so far. Looking to get more selling, and I'm just walking my stop loss down. You can see till the point where I get stopped out, and I should get stopped out right there. Oh, no, not yet. Almost. About $82 up in the position. If we get more selling, that'd be great, but I feel like we'll get a rip up here eventually. We're moving into that 8-period SMA. Bam, more selling taking place. Good stuff. Now that's where the bounce might occur, right at the 8-period moving average. I should get stopped out if we get that bounce. If we get more selling, awesome. Would love it. So I just got stopped out right there, right around the 8-period moving average. Just about hit my target. Notice I was on the 5-minute time frame, so I didn't have the time to let these candles really form to walk through down. So I just wanted to be pretty aggressive, being that there was a lot of volume stepping in. Caught the fade, moved to the downside, made about $90 on that trade, so not too shabby. All right, so here's ticker symbol TDOC, and I'm going in for a short position. I haven't been filled yet. The green line would be the entry, the white would be the stop loss. Now, I like this because it's already in bearish context. We gap down, and I'm giving it very little room, by the way, so I'm risking very little, 25 shares short, so I'm being very, very careful in this. Gap down, showed weakness, bounce, and then broke through this low, and now it's coming in to potentially retest it. I like these type of trades because it could come in, retest it as support, or sorry, as resistance, and then break down again. So I just entered into the position. Let's see if I get stopped out. I should give it a little bit more breathing room, to be quite honest, probably more up to here. Now looking at it because of this candle, but it's okay. So that did create a nice little wolf candle, so maybe it did hold. I'm gonna go ahead and move it now. I'm gonna be aggressive with this one. So I'm gonna actually put my entry, my stop loss now, where my entry was, and see if the fade continues to take place. Got to be aggressive on these short positions because you can get blasted in a very quick time frame. Okay, I'm in the green now. See if we get some more selling or if I just get stopped out. Okay, I got stopped out right there. I honestly think it'll head lower. I was being very aggressive, unfortunately. Sometimes I feel that it's necessary to be pretty aggressive. I should have gave it a little bit more room, to be quite honest, looking at it obviously now in hindsight, but it could have easily went up on me. I was right in the play. That was the right decision. The wrong decision right here, so I hope you learned something from this, is I should have just trusted my original gut. Maybe the 25 shares was too much of a position, and that's why I acted like that. I only was risking, like I said, 15 bucks, but you can see now it is getting rejected. So my original, trade plan was good. Clearly, you can see it rolling down right there. It doesn't mean that I won't, turn around and rip back up, but I got pretty aggressive right there. Yeah, unfortunately. But let's walk through the pattern one more time. Gap down, so that's already weakness. It found support and then broke down through that, even more aggressive. Okay, so that support then could become resistance. I love these trades. Then what happens is you come to test this support here, and it could potentially flush even lower. And as you can see now, we're seeing some weakness, which this could have resulted in, $50, $100 trade right here. So it is what it is. Let's go to the next. So I really wanted to quickly point out, notice how the candle, this is back to TDOC, obviously. It came down and then it faked out and went right back up to get stopped out. So happened to be the proper trade for me with hindsight. But still, just note, I would have still lost a small amount if I would have stuck to my trade plan. So the fact that I was aggressive worked in my favor this time. However, it could have very well broken down too. So there's multiple ways to think about it. I was aggressive. I didn't stick to the original trade plan, and I happened to get lucky. That's how I look at this one. All right, we're back here at ticker symbol QS. You can see we're still moving ourselves up here. Some people might think, well, why didn't you just go long and buy into that? Well, I could have, but also it's very hard to determine going long on a gap down, especially when the nature of the stock is in kind of this slightly bearish trend. So I held off. I did see this bull pennant form on QS, but look at how it broke down. That was a fake breakdown, and then it just started moving higher. So just a very kind of whipsaw type of day overall in the markets. So I'm sticking to my original plan, 50 shares short. I might not even get this gap fill filled just because the 50 period moving average is right here, and I'm considering actually just dropping the short position just slightly lower, maybe just doing 25 shares short right there and then adding the additional 25 up here, just because of the fact that the 50-day can act as an area of resistance. So we'll see how this plays out. I'm going to, based off of what just happened in my previous trade, how I changed my trade plan. This, by the way, changing things can be good and it can be bad, but you need to be able to adapt in certain environments. Right now, the original plan, though, was about a gap fill and then playing that momentum to the downside if it occurs. So I'm going to stick to the gap fill, ignore the 50-period moving average for this moment, and see how this plays out. Just to kind of quantify this move, I'll move off my moving averages right now, just so I can kind of visually see this and not be distracted. All right, well, it looks like the 50-period moving average held as resistance. My order didn't get filled, so I'm going to walk away from this trade. I tried. Unfortunately, this just happens. I missed it by 20 cents. I've seen it worse, though, so well, what can you do? It is what it is. This could be forming now potentially a consolidation bull flag where it just rips me up anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and walk out of this position, exit that.